Welcome back. 2003 Chevy Impala. Needs a whole bunch of front end work. Lower control arms both sides. I need a outer tie rod end on the driver's side. Wheel hub, motor mount, and CV axle on the passenger side. The CV axle is just spewing grease everywhere. Grease all over the place. So we're gonna probably get, I don't know, a whole bunch of videos out of this one probably. I don't know if this one needs a tie rod end. The wheel bearing's so bad that I can't tell until I get it apart, and then I'll be able to tell. I couldn't feel it really much on the driver's side, but when I got it apart, the outer one needed to be replaced. So we're going to take it apart and replace what needs to be replaced, get it working. We'll get an alignment done when this is finished. You need to get an alignment done if you're going to do this. Control arm, not a hub, but unless you break that knuckle loose. If you break that knuckle loose and unbolt it from the strut, you got to get an alignment done. The other side I did without breaking the strut mount loose, just knocked the ball joint off the bottom. I'm still going to get alignment done because there's so much change in here. It's just at least get it checked. Let's go fix this thing. Before I do that, I'll just show you. See how much play's in that? And it's not just in one direction, it's in every direction. Alright, look at that front bushing. You can see, get my light in here. Get it where I can put it down. Hopefully you'll be able to see. Right in here, it's torn at least halfway through the gap there. This is supposed to be open here, but this is not. The other side was just as bad. Hopefully you can see I've cleaned this off a little bit, but all the grease and air over everything in here. Motor mount is covered with it. So we're going to do them as well. Probably be breaking into multiple parts. All you have is I'm going to get a jack stand on the back of this. This bolt here is T55 underneath, pointing straight up, and this bolt here on the back, this control arm, I believe it's 21 millimeter nut, 18 millimeter head on the inside. We're going to replace the. I'm going to leave the rotor on there. No, I can't. I gotta take that off because I gotta take the wheel hub off. The other side I could leave the rotor on there, but let's just get at this. I don't know what we'll start with. We'll just start taking stuff apart. All right, since I'm going to take this wheel hub off, I will take the caliper and the rotor off. If I was just doing the control arm, you can leave these. You can break that ball joint loose, unhook the tie rod end, unhook the stabilizer link back here, and you can actually break that loose. You may have to loosen the axle nut, but you can get that control arm out without having to take all this off. But since I'm going to have to do the hub anyway, I'm going to pull the caliper and the bracket off of here and get them out of the way. So we'll do that first. I believe 17 millimeter and 14 probably. I don't know. That's my guess. We'll see. All right. Before I do that, I'm just going to reach in here between the rotor and the pad here and just pry this forward out a little bit and try to get it to so I can get a gap in it. Let's see if I can get it. I just want to get the piston to go in a little bit so I can move it so it's not so tight against the rotor. So when I go to take it off, it's not a problem. I think these are 15 actually. Yeah. Break them loose, top and bottom. I gotta get a wire to hang this up with. Just take them out. Nothing exciting. Now let me go get a wire to hang it with. In this case, the collar is on the top one. Just gotta remember that. Just stick these right back in here for now. I don't have to remember where they go. We'll reach back in here, upper and lower 17 millimeter. Nope, 15 millimeter as well. They're gonna be different, but they're not. We'll unbolt this bracket now. They can't see it, but it's just 2 bolts. There's one, top one. Get in here, get the bottom one too. There's 2. We'll just set that aside. These are gonna have to be done soon anyway. Not quite yet, but they're getting close. I'm just gonna thread them back into the bracket, and since they're just a pass through, that was dumb. We'll just set them in here for a minute. Don't have to worry about hunting them down. Alright, so we'll go at the axle nut next, 36 millimeter. 156 foot-pounds for this one. Not coming off, going on. Coming off, just gotta come off. Alright, let's make sure it's gonna move. We'll run that back until it's even. Flush. Oh, look at that. No problems, unhung up. Good. Take that off. That's even better. Super. Take the rotor off and sit it out of the way. What do we want to do next? Actuality, I want to break the tie rod end, the ball joint, and the end link, the sway bar. I want to get them loose. Hopefully I can move this arm enough with the axle being loose. I just pull the axle back through. This hub's a lot easier to do with the axle out of there, so we'll get the axle out of the way first, you know, and then we'll come back and do the hub. So let's go down to ball joint, cotter pin. Get a couple of cotter pins here. Get them off. One. There's another one. Can't see it. Just clipped it off. Not exactly what I want to do, but not a major crisis. Try not to do that. And we'll go back through the other way. There you go. There's that one. Let me reach in here. You're looking at my hair. Whoa. You're looking at my hair. Get a close up. Let me find the... I know you can't see it. Just a cotter pin on the ball joint as well. It's facing towards the back. So let's see if I can push it through there. So right up in there, let me see where it is. Right up in here. You see that cotter pin? Should be able to see that right on that nut. We're going to push that cotter pin through, pull it out, and then undo that nut. Get it off there, 18 millimeters, I said before. These always work best for like cutters. You don't want to cut it like I did the first one, but they hold on better. They get a better bite, and you can pull and just kind of work it against stuff to keep a grip on it and get it out. Usually, sometimes they don't want to come out, but there we go. Not a lot of room to work. Yeah, I could break this loose, and I don't want to do that if I don't have to. I'll leave that alone. I'll just reach in here behind, break it loose. It's absolutely nothing exciting, that's for sure. Not a lot of room, but enough. A lot. Sometimes this is easier. I'm going to actually do the tie rod end and take that apart, because then you can turn this a lot easier, and it gives you more of an angle to get at that bolt. It's a little faster. So let's, I think this is 18 as well. This This one's been replaced. I need a tie rod on this side. The other side is original. It was original. It needs to be replaced. There we go. Just stick that back on there temporarily. See if we can break that loose. So, hit what it goes through. Don't hit it. You want to hit what it goes through. These either can be really, really hard or they come apart really easy. You never know. Brake caliper is still hanging now. Sometimes they can be difficult. Trying to get a good shot at it. Easy to wiggle them a little bit though. Sometimes come loose. This one not so much. Although I don't think it's going to. There we go. I don't think it was going to take much. I could move it a little bit, and that means it's going to come out. Alright. Pop that out, set it aside. Boy, that one's not real good either. Yeah, we're going to end up replacing that. It's got movement up and down. It's got play in it it shouldn't have. So, we're going to get to do a tie rod in too. Inside, outside. Inner feels real good, nice and tight. Not moving around, no slop in it. This one, yeah, up and down. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Probably can't see it. I can turn you a little bit. Maybe you can hear it. I can feel it. It's definitely, it needs to be replaced. I don't know what's left of the boot either. Alright, we'll just set that out of the way for now. I gotta order them. Ball joint, right? That's what I was working on. Crammed in here. Let's, now, should be able to turn this easier. Yeah. So now I got a better angle at getting at this bolt. Or this nut, I should say, for the top of the ball joint. We'll just turn that off. Finish turning that off now. So, I'm going to use a pickle fork in here. Put it in there to pop the ball joint because we're replacing the control arm anyway. So the ball joint's in the control arm, new one. So I don't really care if I damage the boot. So the easiest way is just to stick a pickle fork in there, pop it off. So that's what we'll do. Between the boot and the knuckle, slide it in there, beat it in place. Now, if I was keeping the ball joint, I would probably hit the knuckle with the hammer and not use the pickle fork because I wouldn't want to damage the boot. But in this case, I don't care. Just get it replaced anyway. Does not want to go in there, does it? Save my battery here. Alright, so I'll show you what that looks like. Let me show you what that looks like. Just so you, if you've never seen it, you know what it looks like. So, it's driven in between the knuckle and the top of the boot. Right in there for that ball joint. We'll just drive that in there and then we'll knock that out of there. Alright. It's pretty tight with this one. Oh, did I, no, it's tight. It's definitely tight. Hit what it goes through. Hard to get this. I'm hitting the steering knuckle. There's a place to hit on there. Still tight. So we'll go again. A little different angle maybe, and we'll flip it over maybe. Let's flip it over. Get that in there a little more. Let's try to see if we can get that through there. being a little difficult. Being a little bit difficult. Let me get a bigger hammer. Thought I was kidding. There it goes. There it goes. Just needed a bigger hammer. Had to get the 8-pound hammer out. And I'll finish taking that nut off. Got it almost all the way off. If you don't have the arm down, you won't get that. You don't have enough clearance to get that entirely off of there. So you have to leave it on there until you push the ball joint down a little bit. Get a little more clearance. It hits up against the, there we go, up against the bottom of the CV joint. So there, our ball joint's loose. So let's take the control arm out. Why not? We're there. Why mess with it? Let's just take it out. Coming out anyway. We'll go with the front first. There's that guy, right? Focus. Come on, focus. Out of the way here. Focus on me. Come on. Alright. 21 millimeter at the top, I believe, if I remember correctly. T55. Alright, 21. 21 is correct. I actually remembered that. Alright. Let's get the gun. See if I can do it without having to lay under the car. Come on. There it is. There we go. T55. Move you again. Get you back in here. Get you some light. Back in there. Going right back in there. And the only thing I'll be holding it was this sway bar end link. Let me back you up here. Alright, we're going to do the sway bar next. Still have this one, but I want to do that sway bar. Make sure it's 21 millimeter nut. Yes. Alright, 9/16. Yeah, and a 14. Impact tools make it so much easier. They really do. That stuff's almost impossible without them. Especially anything in suspension that gets any amount of rust. This is not too bad, but we get a lot of rust. Now this middle part gets hung up on this metal collar right here. It gets hung up on that. So you gotta kind of drive it out of there. I'm gonna drive it out of there. You'll see what I mean. Tap it back down. I don't think it's too hard. No. You tap it down like that. But even then, it's hard to. There it goes. Usually there. Oh! My bushings go all over the place. Ah, and my light. At least it didn't break. Put that back up there. Let me hunt my bushings down that just rolled all over. The other side was a lot harder getting apart. This side, not so much. Alright, we'll set our bushings in there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bushings. Good, back in there. Good. Didn't lose anything. I can actually probably put this stuff back together. Yeah, this side's not as rusty. The other side was had a lot more rust on it. We'll just put this stuff back on there for now, so I don't lose any of it. The other one, of course, rolled right to the middle of the car, as they always do, farthest away from either side. If you ever drop something, you lose it, you know it was on the floor. Just go to the middle of the car. It'll be right in the middle underneath. That's where it always goes. Reach in here, this back one. Hold the head, 18 millimeter. 21. You may have a little tough time getting that out of there. I just stick a pry bar in there and pop it out. Just reach in there. Here's my bolt. Put the nut right back on the bolt. Get in the habit of doing that so you don't lose anything. Alright, just got to pop that ball joint down, make sure it's loose out of the arm. We should be able to pull that control arm out of there. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's got to go down. There it is. Should be able to wiggle this out now. Come on. A little tight in the back. The bushing's a little bit tight. It's alright. Get you some light in there. Oh, come on. Really? Why are you spinning on me? There we go. Now I'm just going to reach in here and see if I can get it with the... It's torqued because I got it twisted. Push that back in. Of course, the other side, there it goes. That would come out. This one's not quite as bad, but it's torn up in here. It's hard to see because it's torn over halfway there, about a quarter away on this side, and you know, that's bad on this side too. So yeah, you can see it move. There, here, I'll show you. See that line right there? See, it's almost torn all the way through. It's really bad.